This is Huawei's brand new Huawei Watch Fit 4 Pro, and it's the first time that Huawei have ever introduced a Pro watch into their Fit series lineup. And let me tell you, this is actually a really impressive little watch. Now, let me start by saying that Huawei did send over the Watch Fit 4 Pro and the Watch 5 for testing, but this really doesn't change how I feel about the watches, because I think for the price, you really can't ask for much more. There is a lot that this watch can do, from offline contour maps to advanced trail mapping, and it can do everything else you expect a smartwatch to do as well, like answer your calls, send you notifications, and you can even get some great health tracking features on this watch, like medical certified ECG heart rate sensing, which is the first for the Fit series. And everything that I just said about the Watch Fit 4 Pro also applies to the brand new Watch 5 from Huawei, and this has something groundbreaking on it which I've never seen before on any smartwatch. The watch is definitely good because look, even the ducks approve. But before we start with that, let me tell you about the Watch Fit 4 Pro first, because there is a lot to tell you, and luckily I have got 10 kilometers of a hike to do, and the watch currently tells me I have 9 kilometers of that left to do, and I'm already really tired. But let me start with the design first of all. Now, Huawei has put in some real effort into the Watch Fit 4 Pro's design, from the crown to the down button, and even a 3D hydrophobic weaved nylon strap which can repel water and it can dry pretty quickly. For trail running or hiking, it's durable as well because it's got a titanium alloy bezel and what Huawei calls aviation grade aluminium, so it can easily survive a knock or a scratch. And I also found the experience of wearing this pretty effortless because of how lightweight it is. It's perfect for these sort of activities. Now, when I was stopping for a snack, I actually just realised that the Watch Fit 4 Pro here is incredibly thin. Now, it's 30.4 grams for a start, which is lighter than a Galaxy Watch Ultra, an Apple Watch Ultra, and also a Pixel Watch 3. But it's how thin this watch is, which is really impressive, because if you have a look here, just about to have some Oreos, you can see it's as thin as an Oreo. And it comes in at just 9.3 millimeters thin. It's even more impressive when you realise that the watch is actually rated at 5 ATM, which means it can go and withstand pressure and underwater for 50 meters. But the impressiveness of this watch doesn't stop there, because it's when you start to look at the display, you can become really impressed. Now, it's a 1.8-inch AMOLED display with a peak brightness of 3000 nits, which is fantastic. And what's even better is that this is covered with sapphire glass, so it makes it as durable as the rest of the watch. And the display is nice and clear, even at its peak brightness when it is nice and sunny outside, and the watch still has some great performance. And because of that peak brightness, when you're out hiking or trail running on a day like today when it is really bright, it means that you can see those offline contour maps really easily, so you can navigate your way through the paths that you've downloaded onto that watch. And even those watch faces that you can pick from look superb. And still, with that sort of display, you can get up to 10 days of battery life. This was on 82% when I left the apartment this morning, and I didn't have to charge it because I knew it would last for as long as I needed. But if you ever did need to charge it, you can get a full charge on the Watch Fit 4 Pro in just 60 minutes. Now, when it comes to the amount of activities that the Fit 4 Pro can actually track, it goes way over 100. So anything from paddle to free diving, from free running all the way over to hiking, just like I'm doing today. So whatever activity you're into, you should be covered. Now, one of my favorite features about the Fit 4 Pro is actually the full color maps that you can use offline. Now, where I am, there really isn't any signal here, and I'm not a hiker, so I don't know these routes at all, but this has helped me keep on track, which means I feel much safer when I'm doing one of these hikes, and I'm not getting lost, so I can always find my way back. Also, having those navigation alerts when you stray from the path, I found really useful, especially on this hike, because I don't know these routes at all here, and I've got them downloaded onto my watch offline, so I don't need an internet connection to help me know where I'm going. So I've just felt a lot safer trying a new path, knowing that I can always get back home. Huawei have also added in their TrueSense system to the Watch Fit 4 Pro, which is groundbreaking for the Fit series. And what that means is that you can get some of your metrics quicker, so you can get medical certified ECG readings quicker than the previous generation, and also you can get a blood oxygen reading in just 15 seconds. Now, when you talk about the professional trail running mode, it's quite similar to that of the hiking mode. What you can do is you can have your offline color contoured maps downloaded right to your watch. So if you want to leave the world behind and forget that people exist on your run, you can do, or if you think there might be no signal, then it's really handy to have, because what you can do then is you can go on your run with confidence, knowing you're going to get back to your route and not get lost. But what if you want a watch that is not solely focused around fitness from Huawei? Well, you can have a look at their brand new Watch 5. The HUAWEI Watch 5 might not look like a sports watch. It's a little bit more professional in its design, so wearing it to the office or out to events is a little bit more appropriate. However, what it can do is it can still track over 100 sports, so it can still do that professional trail running mode. If you still want to go on a mountain hike, then it'll record it just like the Watch Fit 4 Pro. However, the design of the Watch 5 is just a little bit more professional, so wearing it to an office or to an event just seems a little bit more appropriate. Now, HUAWEI have actually introduced a brand new button to the Watch 5, and it is called X-Tap, and it makes you wonder why nobody has done this before. And with just one tap, you then get that one tap health glance where the watch will measure ECG, skin temperature, stress, blood oxygen, and heart rate variability. And it even gives you a full respiratory overview. It only takes 60 seconds, which means it can basically just be done anywhere. So if you're in line for a coffee, or you're waiting maybe for a bus, or like me, you finish like a long day of video editing and you just want to check your health metrics, then you can do it with X-Tap. It's also a touch sensitive button, so the X-Tap button will actually realize how much pressure you're putting on it as you're taking one of your blood oxygen readings. Because this is so seamless and it takes just 60 seconds with the X-Tap button, I found myself now just checking my health vitals just a little bit more often than I usually would do, which I think is really nice. And in its report, it'll show you 11 health indexes, and what will happen with Health Glance is that after you've taken a reading a couple of times, it will tell you if there's been any changes or abnormalities since your last reading. So you always have that peace of mind that actually you're doing just fine. So the Watch 5 can give you your health insights with just a tap of a button with the new X-Tap button. But now HUAWEI have also introduced something else as a first on the Watch 5, and that is gesture control. There's two gestures that you need to learn with the Watch 5. So one of them is a double slide, and that will change you between the options that you want to pick from on the watch. And then once you're on the right option, a double tap will then select that option. And the gestures only work if you purposely make the gestures. So it won't answer a call by mistake, and you will have to make that precise movement to make sure those gestures are working. So the Watch 5 gives you the new X-Tap button, those new gesture controls, and also it can even use eSIM. And even with all of that, you can still get up to 4.5 days of battery life with its regular battery mode. And if you switch up to the ultra battery life mode, you can get up to 11 days of battery life on this. And this is perfect because if you go on holiday and forget your charger, you know that you just don't need to be charging that watch on your trip. So the Watch 5 gives you so much, and I've not even touched on the design of this yet because it is phenomenal. I have the 46mm aerospace grade titanium version, but you can also get this in a smaller 42mm variant. I have to mention the display on the Watch 5 as well, because this is fantastic. It's 3000 nits of peak brightness and it's LTPO 2.0. And the bezels are only 1.8mm, and it has a 13% bigger display than the last generation. So that is the brand new HUAWEI Watch Fit 4 Pro, which is perfect for people that have an active lifestyle that can track over 100 sports, is one of the lightest smartwatches that you can get, and it can still give you up to 10 days of battery life. And then the HUAWEI Watch 5, which is ideal for every day with eSIM support, that brand new X-Tap button, and gesture controls that make using the watch even more convenient. The HUAWEI watches are compatible with both iOS and Android, so if you fancy picking one of these up, no matter what phone you have, you'll be able to get yourself a brand new HUAWEI watch.